Thank you. Welcome once again. We are back. Thank everyone for liking, subscribing, and even sharing what we got, because we are that sense of shock. I'm G, he is J. We're back at it once again to give you some of our topics, our thoughts, suggestions, what's straight trash, all the good stuff, keeping it real. Because there's a lot on the docket today.
Great.
For sure. So what we want to go ahead and start off with is what happened in 2019. There was a game called Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And it was...
Not the remaster.
It was not the remaster.
Not the remaster.
They brushed it up. They brought back Woods. And gave it a nice little gloss touch.
Price, not Woods.
Yes, Price. I'm sorry.
Price.
My bad. My apologies. But we had a great event. We relatively started it in May, right before Memorial Day, and wanted to make it a phenomenal event. Make it something that we've never seen before. And, you know, at the end of the day, you want to make it about the customer. Because at the end of the day, you're the customer. And what brings the customer in...
Context. I don't know if you already said it. We worked at GameStop during this.
I mean, I was going to say that, but they could probably guessed it. But that's okay. That's neither near nor there. We're not there now.
I mean, I just don't think it was like Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart's not going to do anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
Or Target.
Maybe Party
Target's
City.
a little bit more bougie, at least.
That's another
They got
story.
Starbucks.
They do. And there's one down the road.
Walmart has Subway.
They had McDonald's.
They had McDonald's. Yeah, now they got Subway.
That's sad.
Eat fresh.
I digress. So, back in May, worked with a sergeant who was a recruiter. Really cool guy. I gave him just a quote by saying, hey, what would you like to do for Call of Duty? And his response was, what would you like to do? And I was like, I want a tank. You're not going to give me some type of like challenge and expect me not to just retort back with a thought in mind, spewing it out. So that following Monday, he came in. We jotted down some ideas together. He was like, all right, I don't know if I can get your tank. I was like, I want a tank. That's what I want. Things transpired. Time went by. We got to the day of. Oh, mind you, hindsight. In the middle of that time, spoke to the property management team. Said, hey, this is what we want to do. They had no problem. Everything was cool, copacetic. Crossing all my T's, dotting all my I's.
We just had to make sure all bases were covered.
Just make sure everything.
I'm pretty sure the only thing property management said was tell the fire department just so they know. So that was something that happens.
Yeah.
Because it's a tank, I guess.
Tank.
I don't know. What could possibly happen with a tank?
What could possibly happen? Nothing bad happened to the story, okay? Nothing happened. That's just a spoiler alert. So, we set up everything the day of, about noontime. Got information that the tanks were going to be... No, I didn't even get any confirmation that they were going to be coming or en route. I just assumed, like, okay, we'll set up everything, and if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, I'm going to be sad, and I'm going to cry.
Just close the store.
I can't even close the store because I'm already outside the store.
Don't open it.
Yeah, don't open it. Throw the keys in and say you're on your own. So, set up shopping carts, set up cones as well. We had tape and we had borders. One floating manager from the store next to the GameStop, which is Target. The gentleman was like, what are you doing with those carts? Y'all need to turn those back. I was like, I was told that I could use said carts as long as they weren't the new ones, and we're going to put them back. And he's like, well, no, nobody told me you can't do that. So, although I was angry, I knew what I was told, and I wanted to respect his wishes, so it wouldn't turn to a catastrophe and fight back. So we still used our cones. We still set everything up what we could and put those carts away. But we had enough room in the parking lot so that these tanks could come, and made sure nobody else was parking in those spots. That location. Not even spots, but that location, because the tank is huge.
A little larger than a car.
Yeah, it's almost...
Just a bit.
It could crush the car.
It could.
Not
just
mine.
park on the car.
Don't park on my car. Don't park on my car. That would be a different story. Went in, talked to one of the managers, or attempted to talk to one of the managers. One of the team leads was like, hey, he's in the back. I was like, cool. I would like to speak to him because this is unacceptable. Using my managerial thought process, like we're going to have a conversation instead of somebody just hiding behind a bunch of boxes in the back room and terrified to talk to me because I wasn't having an excusable excuse. So that gentleman never really wanted to come out, and I said, I'm not leaving until he comes out here. Do not make me turn into a Karen. So finally came out. His response was, yeah, Greg, we can't do that. I was like, no. I was like, this is what happened. Well, no, we can't do that. I was like, all right, okay, cool. I know where allegiance lies. The internet is always on. So does customer service. And so he realized, put two and two together, because some people are smart. They realize when I say something, I can easily act. Context is that the internet is always on, which means that you can easily get on the computer and write a complaint. Therefore, higher up is going to hear about that, especially if I don't work there. So I think my voice is going to carry much because there's jadedness and miscommunication, even though I was direct in speaking to all aspects of life in that building. So comes around to maybe 2:30, and we're just kind of hanging outside. The wind is slightly blowing. Our balloons blew away. We had balloons already blown up from Party City that were Modern Warfare. And the first tank comes up on a bed. Oh, it was such a great thing. It was like a relief. And then everything else was just a blur.
Because that's what was great, too, is you asked for a tank, and they showed up with, what, 2? Yeah.
2 of these bad boys. And so by having that, we were told via GameStop that you could not host a LAN party or multiplayer version. You had to play single player. So I was like, game on. I know how to play these games. Why not have a speed run of the first level and see who can proceed to be the fastest? And the army actually acquired some plaques and some trophies and some goodies. We had Texas Roadhouse out there. We had American Outdoors. I don't know. I can't remember what they were called. Massage Envy was there. And I think 2 other spots as well, which was great nonetheless. So we had that. It was fun. It was an environment. By having this huge event, it's becoming about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. People get out for work, just trying to go into Target and just seeing a tank over there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's this? So just creating a buzz and having fun. And it was just it wasn't like a boys club type of thing or a girls club type of thing. Like, all were included. I know little kids weren't going to be like trying to play Call of Duty because they were just like, I have to wait till Christmas. I'm like, all right, cool, but you're not ready for, the stiff competition you're about to endure. So,
and we were instructed we could not let people under 17 play the thing because the army also brought those little trailers with the TVs and stuff on them, because I had to go out there and spend like 30 minutes hooking up all the PlayStations because they couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess it's fair.
It's fair. They don't deal with it on a daily basis, and that's good. So it was a great event. It was loads of fun. I was deemed as the late night, midnight release king because I cultivated everything, worked with my entire team, so they felt a part of it as well. Everything was flowing fluidly, and it was just a fun time. And it didn't even feel like work. We were getting paid for it, but it just didn't feel like work. It was just like hanging out and, causing magic and fun.
Yeah. And then I like, too, the scavenger hunt we did inside, because we had the stuff outside where people were kind of congregating, watching people play the speed run of the first mission, whatnot. Rebecca was out there with Texas handing out goodies and whatnot. And we had gotten a couple. I think it was from the marketing kit. The cutouts of Captain Price.
Yes.
And we hid those all around the store. And we had people go try to find all 6.
They had to take a picture.
They had to take a picture, yep. And then they had to find an associate, and we would have to verify it. And I think if they found them all, I think we had like leftover marketing and pre-order bonuses and whatnot, posters, things like that. And people that found them, we would, give those out as kind of a prize. It was a fun night. Probably my favorite launch. I mean, it's hard to top 2 tanks. It is. Because there's 2 tanks. They also brought, not loaded, but they brought a couple different weapons that they use in the army. I think one was like some sort of grenade launcher. Of course, the standard issue rifles and things like that. One of the tanks, they would actually let people like get inside the chair operating spot. So it was really cool. It was really fun. Never experienced quite a buzz like that from the general, populace that was there. Of course, every time you have a late night launch, there's always buzz from people excited about the game, but this was buzz from just everybody, like whether they're there for Call of Duty, because we were also still just open. So, like, yes, we were doing a release party for Call of Duty, but we're also open. So other people are just like, hey, can I buy my copy of Madden, please? We're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, by the way, what's up with the tanks out there? So it was really cool to just get that kind of buzz. That's really just unheard of anything.
I can
seen before.
I can pre-order the game now. Yeah, you can pre-order the game right now and pick it up at 9:00.
Yeah, because normally we would not let people do that, but it was just creating such a buzz, and all the time with Call of Duty, they always send so many
copies. Yeah.
So we were just like, yeah, absolutely.
Get rid of it. Dang it.
What's this one you want on? You want 10? There you go.
Got you. So, which leads to the next, which is Gran Turismo 7. I feel like there's too many installments of this game.
And this is Friday?
This is Friday the 4th.
Yeah.
Birthday.
It is mine. It is mine, yes.
You're not going to get it for your birthday, are you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So for those that are interested, Gran Turismo is a great formulaic, systematic simulation racing game. Really pristine, top of the line. This is, dare I say, the Xbox equivalent is Forza Motorsports. So it's not an arcadey. It's true precision. It's top of the line. They go around the world using photography for all the tracks around the world. Just getting every shot of the insides, the innards, and the outer chassis of a car as well, and putting it into a game. And every time it looks beautiful. I'm not going to lie. I think 6 was probably trash. Because it was like the end of the PS3 before it got into the PS4. That was hot booty. And then Gran Turismo Sport came out. That's why this one's called 7. Because Gran Turismo Sport came out and they never labeled it as a number. But it was like, it took up so much memory. Every time you installed the game, every time you started the game, there was always an update. And they were just trying to fix something.
Call of Duty.
And then they did Gran Turismo Sport A-Spec. So they added even more as well. And added features to where if you want to send your car to an exotic location, you can take a picture of that in that exotic location so it feels like it's your car. These are never your cars. Never. You will never have these cars. The only way you'll get a car is if you had pre-ordered the Gran Turismo 5 and you did the special version. There's the GTR Spec V. I still have it in its casing. Of course, it's ripped at the top, but I don't care because I still have it, and it's probably the only closest thing that I have to a really cool sports car because I'm not trying to spend that much money if it's free. Legally. That's a good point. Legally free.
You're right.
But one thing I think that's interesting is that PlayStation is labeling it as a $59.99 game. On your PS4. If you want it on the PlayStation 5, it's best to buy the $70 one. That'll give you the version of the PS4 and the PS5. But the labeling of it says vibration function required. So instead of saying dual shock or dual sense, it's vibration function. Weird verbiage, but whatever. And then trigger effect required. So realistically, it's like this is better off from the PS5. We'll give you the inferior PS4 version, but this is best played on the PS5. Do not come complaining at us if you want to enjoy a PS4 game at PS5 fidelity, because it ain't happening. But this is 25 years of Gran Turismo. Congratulations. Awesome. For those that are getting it, definitely comment in the comment section to let us know if you're hyped for it, if you already have it pre-ordered. What's your favorite car in the series of Gran Turismo? We would love to know. But
real fast, even if you're a fan of Gran Turismo or not, 25 years is it's a long time to keep a series going for anything.
It's a milestone.
There were
a lot of hiccups.
Yeah, I would imagine. So I've never personally played Gran Turismo. I've never been big into the actual like track racing, but like you had mentioned, I do really enjoy. It's not quite the counterpart to Gran Turismo, but Xbox's Forza Horizon series.
Oh,
because I like the open world and racing through whether it be dirt or one of them you were like on a beach like right by the water. But whether you're a fan of any series or not, 25 years it's a long time to keep making something and be successful with it as you keep going. I mean, yeah, you're going to have hiccups like you said and whatnot, but that's impressive. So yeah, congratulations to that studio and to those guys.
Because I have, as you see, Gran Turismo 5. I also have Gran Turismo Sport before it. I think they gave it to you free. I want to say they gave Gran Turismo free after the fact, and I was like, oh, thanks. I pre-ordered it for nothing. But I've got a car. Playing Gran Turismo Sport on the VR was so cool because there was only a handful of games like we talked about with the VR as well. When me having the Gran Turismo or having the VR, there was only a handful of games that came out. So the funny thing is that when I played that and they added the VR feature, I was sitting on my couch, so I was down, had the visor on for the VR, and the camera was higher, and of course the TV's even higher as well. So I'm driving and I'm like this, and I'm like, why can I only see like the dashboard? Like I want to see above. I'm trying to drive. So then I just start to kind of stand up, and then the visor in my car just start, and I can see up above. And I was like, oh my, this is so crazy. It's tracking everything. VR is intense. But at that time, you could only race with 2 cars, only on 1 track. Then they did an update and allowed whatever cars were in your garage, you can input that into the VR and race around relatively any track of your desire. So there are some limitations, but mostly they wanted you to play till you got all the cars, and then you could play on all the tracks, which is a great experience for Gran Turismo. So congratulations.
Are you looking forward to Gran Turismo 7?
So there's something coming out next week that is going to take my attention, and I would like to get it, and I'll probably get it later on. Seeing how this year, plays out, because I don't know what's going to drop. I mean, we know that Ninja Turtles is coming out this year, so that's what I'm really looking forward to, but that's not what I'm talking about next week. Plus, we don't know what this whole new State of Play that's supposed to be this month.
I'm waiting for the day.
September 30th.
But I meant the day of the State of Play, too.
So I would like to get it. I mean, I have so many in the franchise. It only makes sense, and I really wish they would do a Turista Trophy Turista. It's the motorcycle version of Gran Turismo that was on the PlayStation 2, and that was fun. But I intend to get it, just not on day one, and I'm okay with not getting the pre-order bonus because I'm gonna be ones that'll buy the PS5 version, which will come with the PS4 version, and hopefully get some trophies. So that leads us to the next mania, that is Pokemania.
So yeah, they announced it not too long ago, maybe like within the last week, I think it was.
So the 27th was Pokemon Day, and that was on a Sunday.
Okay.
They wanted to let everyone know, hey, if you're a fanatic, we've got a presentation that we're going to give you. It's not going to be long. We're going to cut straight to the point. We know that you're loving Pokemon Arceus, but we've got some interesting things to show you and give you some updates on what we've been working on the back end. And nobody, in my mind, had an idea that this was going to drop and how soon it's going to drop.
Yeah. So, of course, it's supposed to release later this year, is what they're saying it's on course for. It is
Pokemon Violet.
Yep, and then Scarlet as well. Always going with the two-color theme there. It's supposed to release later this year. They haven't given too much out yet. I guess you wouldn't really expect them to tell you everything when it's first announced. They did release the starters. It's kind of all they've really touched on. Of course, you've got your grass, fire, your water type starters like always. We're in Gen 9.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the 9th Gen, so getting up there in the gens. So yeah, they announced the starters. You've got it's pronounced
Go ahead.
Sprigatito, maybe.
It's more the Latin.
Sure. So one thing from what I understood, and I might get this word wrong, I think it said in the game, I don't remember the name of the region, but its real life counterpart is, I think they said it's like around the Iberian, not Siberian. There was no S in what I read. But the Iberian Peninsula, I think, which they said is like around like Spain and some other another country I don't remember. So that's a pretty cool setting though. They're kind of venturing out because the earlier Pokemon games were more so in different regions of Asia and things like that. Now they're branching out. I think.
Well, except for Sword and Shield.
What's the earlier Pokemon?
Oh yeah,
like when they first came out was all in the regions of Asia and things like that, and then I think X and Y was in France. I think so. They're starting to branch out, which is really cool. So we'll see how that goes. I wonder what kind of different elements they'll have of different cultures and
like how going to a racing game kind of in a sense. Forza Horizon 5, when you start that out, I mean, you're in Mexico. You can feel the vibration, not the vibration, you can feel the vibration, if you will, of how colorful, how great it is going through different aspects. So how you feel that even when Super Mario Odyssey, when you're going to that town, I think it's the second level, whatever, and it has, those guys that look like Coco, Disney's Coco, and they just with the maracas and everything and the sombreros. So hopefully they have something of that lore that's going to capture the essence that is the Hispanic community and that vibe of Spain as well.
Yeah.
No conquistadors, stabbing Pokemon. We don't want that.
Yeah. The Sprigatito, I mean, it's probably got a more Spanish type pronunciation
it's
to
pretty
it.
Good. But I would say that's how I go.
But it's a grass type. It's a cat.
Weed kitty.
So okay, yeah. To me, it's if you haven't seen a picture of it, I kind of get almost like a grass type, like Litten from which one was Litten?
Wasn't that
that was
Sun?
Sun. Yeah. So that's what it looks like to me. The fire type, I'm going to go on a limb here since it's in Spain. Mm-hmm. That instead of how I originally thought it was Fuecoco, it's probably Fuecoco because like Fuego fire and fire type.
And Fuego.
Big brain time. So it looks interesting. It's like a dinosaur apple looking. I don't know how to explain it. Alligator.
He's got a tail. So it's like kind of like an alligator, but
birds have tails.
But he's
doesn't mean it looks like an alligator.
But you can't have a bird and a gator.
Sure, you can. It's Pokemon. They have a magnet.
They do. Positive and negative.
They have a fish that just flops.
Magic harpy.
You can have a bird dragon or a bird alligator.
You could, but that you have to evolve though.
True.
You have to wait till he evolves.
True.
Or she. They wait till they evolve.
The Pokemon.
Wait till they evolve.
Wait till they evolve.
Yes.
And then of course the water type is Quaxley. It is a duck.
Quack quack.
Quack quack.
Shucky ducky.
If you haven't seen a picture of it, the best way I can describe that one is it is a duck that has blue Donald Trump hair.
There you go.
So do with that information what you will.
Yeah. Kind of like a seagull as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, because, you know.
With a wig.
With the wig. I mean, it's once you see, and if you haven't, definitely advise you to finish watching this and then go back and view it. To see that there's like a floop of hair, I didn't even notice. I just seen the hat, and it had that Mario Luigi kind of cap, if you will. No, Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi, like their hat, but it's blue. But I never noticed the hair. But if you notice with like Odyssey, you can see Mario's little strands of hair. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I think they're all great. I don't think they're fantastic. I don't think it's mind-blowing. But
it's also like I was saying the other day, too. Like, you're in Gen 9, eventually they're going to run out of,
like you said,
things they can do.
They'll combine a tree and you know, a worm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Trico.
If anyone can do it.
Tree Coco.
Tree Coco. If anyone can do it, the Pokemon Company can do it, okay? Yeah. And people will love it.
And they throw names on the board. Alright, that's a good. But no. I'm, as anyone, really excited to see what the legends are going to be. And to have this an actual free roaming.
Yes, it's open world again.
Open world is something new, something fresh. I don't think that Arceus was supposed to come out before this. I think Arceus was like their test, and they're like, so they're like, we'll just put that out because our whole goal was Scarlet and Violet. And once the praise and reviews came in through for Arceus, they were like, oh, you like that? Here you go. Here's some more.
Here's more.
We had stuff during COVID that we're working on, but we didn't think that you guys would love it, so here you go. I'm kind of beside myself because I thought the program and the route that they were going to go was going to give us another Let's Go. To give you like that Pichu and Togepi, I guess. To have that. And then give us another Pokemon Legends and have another. Like, I would like for them to have done Pokemon Legends Rayquaza, which would make perfect sense because that's your Emerald. And you could just like, all right, check, that's off the market. And just keep, every other year. Kind of like Call of Duty. Work on Pokemon Legends and then do like a different version. Not multiple Pokemon Let's Go, but just having it mixed up, sharing each year, vice versa. So, it's the latest, it's the greatest.
It's Pokemon, it's going to do well.
It's going to do well. The only issue I have is that Nintendo has a lot in store for this year. And granted, this is Game Freaks, so they can do whatever. The Pokemon Company wants to do whatever they want. That's why they didn't even announce it on a Nintendo Direct. Makes perfect sense because Pokemon Day was like, hey, we're going to have our Pokemon Direct and we want to come out first. We're with Nintendo, but we want to come out first and announce it and get the hype up and get the views up and get the tweets all out there. But you have Legend of Zelda, the sequel of Breath of the Wild, that's supposed to be this holiday. You have Bayonetta 3. You have Mario and Rabbids, Stars of Hope. You have Metroid Prime 4, which probably will never exist. Kirby's this month.
Yeah,
well, I'm talking about more like
more holiday.
Yeah, holiday.
Later, gotcha.
Because if we go back to 2019, you had the bangers of Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening in September. You had Luigi's Mansion 3 right on Halloween, the end of October, and then you had Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, and they were just like, we're done. You need nothing else from us. Give us your money. So to have a trifecta like that, you want to space them out but not have them all come together. Pokemon sells, but none of those games were destroyed by the other, in a sense, because you had a crew for Legend of Zelda because they wanted something like Zelda. You had somebody that wanted something like a new Mario, but it was Luigi. But a lot of people played Mario. I mean, a lot of people played Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, on the 3DS. And now playing this one on the Switch. And then, of course, you had your Pokemon to really just wrap up the year because it's November and everybody's going to get it. So
they're going to get it twice because they'll buy both.
Yeah, they'll buy both. But funny thing is, Arceus sold more than Sword and Shield together. Like, Arceus has more sales than Pokemon. So I know. I'm just saying.
I don't understand.
I know. So my thought process with this is, like, you can't push Legend of Zelda to another month except for November. Like, Ocarina's always, like, come out. Well, not Ocarina, but Legend of Zelda normally comes out either September or November. Primarily November on the 64 days. But you would want that to be your slot for November because you know Pokemon's going to sell. Are they going to push it September? Are they going to push it October? What? And then what else is coming out in between all of that as well? Oh, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Like, that's another niche which could probably come on December. So Nintendo has a lot stacked, and I don't know how they're charting and not pushing something to 2023. Definitely Mario Rabbids is what I pushed to be determined. To be announced. Canceled.
Scrapped.
But yeah, so with Game Pass with Nintendo Online, they just the 25th, if you will, had the Majora's Mask come out on the Nintendo Online was expansion pack because you had to have the online expansion pack to play Nintendo 64 games. So Majora's Mask was just on there, so that's something new, and they're hopefully going to give us even more stuff as well. A lot of people are clamoring for Smash Brothers, but I already own it on the 64, so I really don't. I don't need it digitally because I have it physically. Game Pass just having so much stuff as well, and we'll get to a lot of things on there. But I mean, PlayStation, the Plus is something. But, they got this PlayStation Spartacus coming out.
They do. Like I was telling you earlier, I hope they change the name. I'm not a big fan of the Spartacus, which, from what I've understood, that they just have that as the, code name. So, I'm hoping they come up with something cooler. There's information out about it. Take a grain of salt. It leaks, so stuff's not confirmed. This is just the leak of what people assume it's going to be. Where it's going to have the 3 tiers, and they're going to kind of have the PlayStation Essential tier, which is going to be $10 a month, and it's just going to include the, course ability to play online with your friends and whatnot, and the monthly games that PlayStation Plus is now, as we know it. That's it. So that'll still be the same because that's what PS Plus is a month right now. Is $10 if you do it monthly. So that's the first tier. The next tier is the PS Extra, which will be $13.
X gonna give it to you.
$13 a month, where it'll get you, of course, the previous tier, and then it'll also get you a game catalog. There's not a big description on what that means by game catalog. They don't know if that's going to be kind of like a game, like how Xbox has the Game Pass. They don't know. They haven't said. Just game catalog is all we know. So
because it could be like PlayStation Now.
It could be. And it could be the PlayStation Now included.
Yeah, because PlayStation Now, which would be smart. PlayStation Now is PS2 games, PS3, and select PS4 games, and a lot of people are liking to, I guess, acquire trophies or even stream PS2, PS3 games. Because PS4 is inevitable. You can stream on your PS4. But one thing they're missing out that Game Pass has is Game Pass just goes back to their previous catalog, which is your original Xbox, your 360, and, of course, now Xbox One leaking into the Xbox Series X. So why they don't? I think it's more like they feel they're going to lose money, maybe. So they're just like, we'll just keep everything separate. And then now they're like trying to make things make sense. I would like to get the PS1 games, but I think that they don't want to get the PS1 games because there's certain copyrights. For instance, X-Men versus Street Fighter. I would say Marvel versus Capcom, but X-Men versus Street Fighter. And that one, I mean, was Fox, but now it's owned by Disney.
Like everything else.
The last thing that Disney was with was the MCU, therefore your Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And you didn't have your core, like, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or even Marvel vs. Capcom 2 characters that look. They had that more MCU look. And so Disney's going to want to, tamper in the plate with that. They'll be like, oh, I want some of this, I want some of that. And you won't be able to really have a core game, or they're just going to tell you can do that, but you can't have this character, you can have that character, you can have this side character, you can have Dazzler, you can have Nightcrawler. And people are like, I want Wolverine, you can have Cyclops. Not like there's anything wrong with Cyclops, but it's Cyclops. So, I would love for them to dig deep into that catalog. I don't think they will. I think they'll just give you PS2, PS3, and like you should have these PS4 games.
You should. You
literally should.
You should. And then the next tier, which is going to be the top tier, because like I said, there's just 3 leaked. Except I'll take this with a grain of salt. For $16 a month is going to be the PS Premium, and of course that would include the previous 2 tiers where you get all that stuff. You will get. It says streaming, so I'm wondering if that means like Xbox Game Pass when they put like brand new games on the Game Pass. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if that's what like you can just stream the game. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of definition on this stuff because it's just a leak. So, but we just want to inform you on stuff we find out. With this tier, you will get classic games. So there's that category like you were talking about. It doesn't expand into how far or what.
And can they have Spyro and Crash?
We don't know.
But I mean, it's Activision.
Because it's Activision, which is Microsoft now. So we don't know. And then is it just going to be like a whole bunch of, I mean, I know it says classic, but is it going to be like a whole bunch of classic games, or is it going to be like how they do like the PlayStation hits, where it's just like, okay, like the top 10 PlayStation hits from PS2, here you go. Like, okay, thanks. And then
I don't even like these games. What are you doing?
Right. And then they are doing game trials in this tier as well. So that, from what I understand, like I said, the streaming thing, there's not a lot on, but the game trials is similar in description to how Game Pass is, to where new games will come out, and if you have that tier, you can have, I want to say I read, which is a leak, I want to say I read 10 hours. Like how EA Access, or EA Play, I think is what it is now, how you do their stuff. You subscribe to the EA Access, EA Play, and you can play a game when it comes out, like for 10 hours, and then, of course, you have to buy the game if you want to keep playing it. So they're going to have that for, I don't know if it's going to be like PlayStation titles, or if it's going to be like PlayStation exclusive titles, or if it's just going to be like, alright, here's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 8. You get 10 hours. I don't know. Like I said, there's usually not a lot of description on leaks and stuff like that, but, it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
PlayStation's been in the talks for a while of needing to come up with a Game Pass competitor, because Game Pass is better than any sort of thing that PlayStation has currently, service-wise. Service-wise, obviously,
Because they're giving you day one games on the Game Pass.
Right, absolutely.
And it's just like, why should I buy this game if I can try it out? And if I like it, I can buy it via digital or wait till it's on sale at the store and then buy it then. Because some games are not guaranteed to last forever. But when you were talking about the trials, I don't remember what the last one was, but I remember Detroit Become Human on the PS4. I got to try that out. And even on the PS3, Mortal Kombat 9. with the PlayStation 3, you were able to download that demo, but you couldn't on the Xbox 360. And you had Scorpion, Sub-Zero, I want to say Reptile, and Melina. Yeah, I think those are the 4 characters you could play. So it's nice to get a hands-on the game and enjoy it and play it, but I don't know who they're going to partner with. I don't know if it's going to be first-party games. It would not make sense to do first-party games because you don't want to give away the story. If somebody's playing 10 hours and like, oh, I ain't beating it, and it's like, yeah, that's not what we're going for. We're trying to give you an experience instead of, we're trying to give you a tidbit of it, and then you're just trying to get everything out of it.
Speed around it.
You're right. So I'm wishing for the best. I'm excited to see what's going to, because they're going to have to announce it soon.
I do think Sony understands they have to come hard with it because they've been under scrutiny for so long about not having a Game Pass competitor to go up against that. So I think Sony understands that, and I think they know if they just kind of came out with some rinky-dink thing just to say they have something, they're going to get
shafted.
Yeah. People are going to show up with pitchforks and torches and, you know.
And with that being the pricing, there's so many things that I'm concerned, like, are they going to have
like an
annual
yearly
plan?
Yeah.
An annual plan? Are they going to have like a 3-month, 6-month plan? Is there going to be a way that they're going to incorporate this with PlayStation Plus as well? Because in a sense, you would need PlayStation Plus for the trials.
Well, it is, because the PS Premium got you to play online and the monthly games. Okay. So I think that's definitely smarter than PS Plus and then having to buy Spartacus. Just like used to Game Pass, you would buy Xbox Live Gold and then you would buy Game Pass, and now they've combined it, which is smart.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because I even think they decreased the amount a little bit by buying it together than it would have been buying Live and Game Pass, I think. So I'm glad that it seems they're doing it that way. I'm definitely excited to see
what happens.
And maybe, like you said, they'll have to announce it soon, and maybe we'll get something else this month at the State of Play.
Yeah.
We'll just have to stay tuned to find out.
Stay tuned to us. We'll give you our thoughts, our insights. So, speaking of the inside...
the next topic.
It hit hard. It hits hard.
It's different.
It's different. It's that WWE 2K22. They took a year off.
They did.
For
listening. A needed year off.
Needed year off. Take a vacation.
Yeah.
Read the room. Because you ain't hitting it. You ain't doing it. X out all the people you don't need. Stop copy and pasting and give a whole new layout. And from what I'm seeing, this looks really beautiful. It
looks promising.
It looks very promising.
Very promising.
I'm excited. They're just showing more and more and more content of the game instead of just like, oh, you could probably do this. And I'm like, now they're like, this is gameplay. This is what's happening. And the screenshots always look trippy because they show so many close-ups. And it's like, I know that's not how I'm playing. Like, stop tricking me. This is not... Like, I'm not that close to the camera when I'm playing with this wrestler. But on March 8th, if you pre-order that deluxe or the cross-gen or the NWO version for life... you can play it on the 8th. Everyone else will have to wait till late in the week. I don't really care. You should get the next version. And this one, they're going back to that showcase mode, which, wow, was that 2014? 2013?
A while ago.
It was a while ago. It was like the beginning happenstance. Oh, 2014 because you had Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
2014. And then they started kind of veering off and doing different things, and it wasn't good. This time you're playing as Rey Mysterio and going through his eclectic journey of his career, and they even have some stuff. I think it was last Arcade 1997 when he was going up against Halloween Havoc, 1997 with Eddie Guerrero. The late great, and to see how they're having this game play out to where you're playing the game, but then as you're playing, it cuts into a cutscene of the actual match, the visual video footage of the match, and then transitions back into gameplay. It's something that they could have done all this time. I feel like that something like that happened way back in the day. Maybe like on Xbox Raw. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe WWF Raw. But to have a story of Rey Mysterio, and I think a lot of people know Rey Mysterio, whether they're wrestling fans or they're just casual fans as well. Dog barking. I'm really impressed. And with being a new game, you have, aside from that showcase mode, you have your My Rise, which is telling a story of a female or a male going through their transition of just being a jobber, if you will, or just a county wrestler, making it into the big time and on the scene, and how are you going to play that? How are you going to come across of, trying to be friendly to everybody or just out for yourself? How do you want to play the game? There's GM mode, which everyone's been clamoring about. I don't really vibe with GM mode unless I'm playing with a friend. But mostly it's like couch co-op type of thing. Raw, he's SmackDown. I want all these wrestlers. I'll pay them. If they're not happy, they'll jump ship and go to his show, that type of thing. Can I manage? Can I run a show prominently? Like a manager, I guess. And then, it's Undertaker. He's going to the Hall of Fame for the Hall of Fame's WrestleMania. And they've got 3 versions of The Undertaker in this. There's one that I'm just so angry about because you have Biker Taker, you have Ministry Taker, and then, which is really cool. I like the music on that one. And then you have the Undertaker I like, which is the purple gloves. He's got his hat. He's got the hair all draped down. It's like, yes, ominous. Homeboy's got like a clay mask on. Now, he got his face crushed, apparently, his orbital bone crushed by King Mabel. And so he had to wear a clay mask when he fought. And I don't know why they chose that one. Why they didn't choose either the gray glove Undertaker or just the standard purple gloves of Paul Bearer. I don't know. But it'll be like the ominous Undertaker, walking down, 15 minutes down the aisle to get to the ring to take his hat off and his jacket and tie. And then there's the NWO for Life version, which will give you 6. Why? He's been in 1, 2, 3 Kid. He's been X-Pac. He's been 6. He can't make up his mind, but he's a pre-order bonus. No, he's not pre-order. He's in the NWO version. You have Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hollywood Hogan's. And the pre-order bonus is Eric Bischoff. So if you haven't pre-ordered it, definitely pre-order so you can get another person to beat up. It's always fun to have more on the roster. So I'm excited for it. I'll be streaming it. It's something good to look forward to because there's been several games that's been coming out since beginning of this year that's getting a lot of love on the next gen consoles.
I'm excited to see it as well. I think I had touched on it a couple episodes ago, but the graphics in this game in 2K22 are just looking absolutely phenomenal. They're looking best wrestling game graphics I've seen since maybe even being on the PS2. The SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 and 8, those graphics were just so far ahead of their time. And obviously they look better than that. Obviously, because it's it's next gen. But I'm excited to see that. There's going to be a bunch of people. I saw a conclusive list of their roster. I don't know if all the names were including the special editions.
Oh, the alternate versions of
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it was including that because I didn't really bother to read all the names, but it was like 171 people. So that's quite the roster.
Makeup time.
Absolutely. But then for some reason, the only thing that's making me like about it is they decided they wanted to put MGK as a playable character in the game. So I couldn't quite understand that one. I couldn't quite understand that, and I couldn't quite understand that even though he's the cover athlete, they made Rey Mysterio a 90 overall. And I mean...
Well, I mean, Rey Mysterio is great, but when you put him up against John Cena or The Undertaker...
Because I'm pretty sure Batista had like an 89, and they gave Rey Mysterio a 90.
But it's all about Rey Mysterio, though.
I mean, yeah, but...
Yeah. And maybe they're just talking about... Like, I think they grade it, the rating system, on the popularity, how many matches they've won, his prominence on height, because you can't have somebody like Curtis Axel at a 90. It's like, bro, what have you done?
Highest overall is Roman. He came in at a 95. Brock came in just below him at a 94. I don't know who the lowest was because nobody cares who the lowest is.
Nobody even... Like, they're not even going to be used. That's how bad it is.
And then they still had... Because the list I saw was their official website, and they still have quite a few people that are no longer with the company. Cesaro was there, Samoa Joe was there,
Billy Kay,
Jeff Hardy, I think, was still there.
Iconics, yeah.
Yep. I might have seen Keith Lee's name, but I don't know because I feel like they would have had to pull him because he's now.
There's a lot of people over there.
Yeah, well, but they're not in the game. But Keith Lee was.
I don't know. We'll definitely give you an
out.
update because I think there's some people that are in the game that are either in TNA or AEW. I mean, they're not gonna have Jericho. They could have Jericho.
It would be like a classic. Like,
I mean,
long hair.
He was on the Stone Cold podcast.
Yeah, I mean, you're not
recently.
Wrong. It could be the long hair, two belt Chris Jericho, but we'll see.
Man, good times. Well, yeah, we'll give you more insight and what our thoughts are on the actual final product once it's actually playable.
Because it's next week.
It's next week, and I'm ready
Tuesday.
for it. Tuesday.
Gonna be streaming it?
Yeah, I'll be streaming that bad boy.
Make sure you catch that.
Yeah, catch that. It'll be in the docket. You can check that on the ones and twos. It'll be in the description. So we're going to travel over to FIFA and NHL 2022. Now, sports ball is great. NHL is very much a game that does not get the prominence that it deserves. It comes out September of every year.
It gets very washed under the rug. Swept under the rug by the other. Yeah,
well, because you have your Madden.
Madden in August usually.
Yeah, and then you'll have your FIFA come out like right at the end of September, if not October, because it depends if you get the ultimate version of FIFA.
And 2K is always.
And then you've got NBA 2K because live is
trash, and dead.
Then you get 2K October. So NHL doesn't get the love. It doesn't get the
gets overlooked.
It gets overlooked badly. And EA it's like we'll have it if you guys really want it. I mean, we'll put it out there.
Because it's really just the diehard like hockey fans, like football and basketball games and stuff like that. You don't have to be like super hardcore. Like basketball is my life. Like it's just a fun game to pick up and play. From things I've noticed, NHL is usually like people strolling in that like only wear like hockey like jerseys and stuff everywhere they go are really the only people that.
But another reason why NHL gets shafted is they don't even put it on the next gen consoles.
That is also
it's
true.
Just PS4 and Xbox One. They didn't put it on the Switch.
Well, they probably since it doesn't do so well,
Yeah.
they didn't expend the resources to boost it. But anyways, continue.
But so with current events, currently Reading from CBS Sports News, it says EA Sports is removing all Russian clubs from the FIFA 22 and NHL 22 video games following Russia's invasion of Ukraine earlier in February. In addition, the Russian and Belarus national teams will be removed from both games. Dang. EA's like, we ain't playing with you. We taking you off. OFFT, you ain't on here no more. With a quick update. I don't care if you guys try not to get this online. We're going to find a way to remove those teams off your system. That's big news. That's almost like Fight Night. If you're playing Fight Night and they remove a boxer because he's done something detrimental to their publication and their development and their games. That's what I equate it to. Granted, they put...
Or like Chris Benoit, like wiped out of...
Yeah, existence completely.
WWE, data, everything. Like, they don't even know who he is.
Yeah. So they just took a whole... Like, they took teams. They didn't take like a person. They took a complete, like, teams from Russian Belarus. So, it's getting serious. It's getting real. Don't make mistakes. I think they want to protect their name as well. EA Sports wants to protect themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
In both those, because you're not going to have that happen in NBA or MLB because they're not like worldwide games. As to where your FIFA is a worldwide game. That's why they have so much love for that. NHL was shocking because mostly that seems like America / Canada,
yeah.
North America as well. North America is Canada, so have both of those, that continent showcasing all of that. They don't really do anything overseas unless it's the Winter Games.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what they were. Probably did an update to add that since it was just recent. But hey, I'm interested that EA Sports chose that decision. I'm glad I'm not in the hot seat to make those decisions because that's not my job.
It is. And we don't bring this up to get like political or anything on you guys. That's not what we do. It was just, this relates to video games and that's what we do. That's what we do is we bring the video game news to you.
You dive into our world.
So that's, that's the extent of
sports
is where we're gonna end. We're not here.
Now we're bringing it back home.
Bring it
to
home.
MLB.
Bring it back.
The show. Now,
the show. Show me what.
So I'm gonna show you the MLB. The MLB. Major League Baseball. The show. Now this is a San Diego Studios PlayStation studio.
Yes, no longer PlayStation exclusive title.
PlayStation exclusive,
but it is a PlayStation studio.
They had it on Game Pass last year.
Because last year was the first time it was not only on PlayStation. Mm-hmm. It was put on the Xbox One and then / Series XS last year, and then this year it is going.
It's also going to be on the Xbox One and the Series X, your PlayStation 4, and your PS5.
I think I read, too, they're putting it on the Switch this year.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I think it will be limited, just like how multiple sports titles are on the Switch.
That resolution will be knocked down, probably the frames will...
To the DS version. Mm-hmm. So, this one's coming on April 5th. I'm pretty impressed that they're going once again to another year to put this on Game Pass. I think it's just done so well being on the Xbox, and it's giving that community as well to enjoy it and embrace it. The funny thing is that last year PlayStation was like, we're gonna have your standard version, we're gonna have a deluxe version, and then we're going to have like a Jackie Robinson version. And normally the bigger version, your $100 version, is going to come with a fitted
cap
hat, a new era hat or a 51 hat, whichever one it be. I think they've kind of gone towards 51. But they said the proceeds to the PlayStation version of Jackie Robinson Collector's Edition will go towards the Jackie Robinson fund, which is like Yeah, but shouldn't you do that for Xbox as well? Like, shouldn't you use those, ask for those? But hey, you know, PlayStation's like, if you really care, we're going to put all this right here. So, I like that they're adding a lot of cool features. Of course, you've got your Road to the Show. You have your Dynasty as well. You have like 3v3, 2v2, 1v1. The couch co-op aspect as well. So they're going to give you more ways to play MLB The Show the way you want to play instead of just like playing the computer. Because if you're not good against the PC, you know, then I can't
just
help
stop.
you. Just stop playing.
Stop.
Don't play the simulator.
Get some help.
Get some help. You need all the help you need. But yeah, I mean, so with that coming out on the Xbox, I think it's good, especially have it day one. I just don't know how people feel about actually buying the physical game unless you want the stubs. But you can get that in the digital version.
Or if you have an attachment to
Physical, yeah.
That or an attachment to, you know, respective cover athlete. Like this year MLB is Shohei Ohtani, I think is how it's pronounced. So unless you're just a really big fan of him. Or like for me with 2K21, of course, huge fan of Kobe Bryant, so even though the PS4 Kobe Bryant version came with free PS5 copy, since it was a different style cover, I bought the $100 edition twice within a month and a half of each other because, you know, that
you had to have it.
I had to because it's Kobe. So, you know, that could also lead someone to go for that physical over the digital. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see. You know, give us your thoughts. You know,
do you prefer physical or digital games? Let us know. It seems to be
it's an awkward concept.
I wouldn't say boring topic, but you've got your physical faithful, and then you've of course got your upward convenient upward trending digital that are like, no, digital's the way. Yeah. So give us your thoughts. How do you prefer to play, physical, digital? You know, how do you like to do that? What do you find more enjoyable? Do you like to build that collection of the cases? Or do you just like to be able to sit back on your couch and be like, I want to play something else? So definitely let us know.
But we thank you once again. Go ahead and hit that subscribe if you haven't. Just tap on to that.
Click it. Make sure you click the bell too so you have notifications turned on every time we post. We're usually pretty routine weekly. You know, we try to get stuff pushed out for you as fast as we can and get the most knowledge we can help you guys. So make sure that bell's turned on so you know as soon as we post a video, you can be right there to watch it, brand spanking new, fresh.
And hit that like.
Hit the like, comment, share it with your friends.
Let us know.
Your co-workers.
All the above. Even your bosses. The ones
grandma.
that you dislike. Your great-grandma. Maybe you don't have a great-grandma. Find a great-grandma in your church.
One.
Go to church. Go to church. And then find a great-grandma and tell her to subscribe to your boys.
Absolutely.
But other than we thank y'all once again. We'll see you when you see you.